What is crack-a-lackin', my dudes? It's me, Maruapo, and today we are going to be talking about my thoughts and predictions for both Captain Marvel and Avengers Endgame. Now, this video is going to be focusing more on Captain Marvel since it's coming out in 4 days, and it's going to be focusing less on Avengers Endgame. But I'll have another video explaining Avengers Endgame later this month / 2 months until right before that movie comes out, so that we have all the stuff, like all the set photos and both trailers and everything. So here's what I think the premise of Captain Marvel will be. Carol Danvers, is that the actor? Superhero. This is a superhero. This is a fictional superhero. Alright. Well, Carol Danvers, who is Captain Marvel, superhero, as we just learned, she lived on Earth for a bit, like for most of her life, until she was a pilot. She went into the air. That's why she was like, because she was a pilot. And that's why he was like, can you fly this thing? And she was like, maybe. And he was like, it's a yes or no question. And he was like, yes. See, this is how I watch trailers. This is me. So I think that she lived on Earth. She went up into the sky on some sort of mission, or she got lost or something. And so the Kree saved her and then turned her into a Kree so that now she's super powerful and can shoot the out of her hands. And so then she was just fighting as a Kree for a while against the Skrull, who are, if you don't know, shape-shifting bad guys. That's why she beat up a grandma. And she fell back down to Earth into the blockbuster, was really confused. That's why she was staring around the subway station. And she met Nick Fury. Now, I think this is going to be a very different Nick Fury than what we've seen in the MCU so far. So not the doesn't trust anyone, is super monotonous and like all the time. I don't think that's going to be how he is. I think he's going to be kind of funny, and I think he's gonna remember how he was petting the cat. That was super out of character for him. I think his character is gonna be more like that, not exactly like that, but more like that, more loving and kind and less untrusting. But I think that, and this is from a Super Carlin Brothers video, which I'll link in the description. I think that the cat is actually some sort of alien thing. I can't remember what it was called, and I don't really feel like looking it up. But yeah, just go check. Hanging up the rags, as he said, or something like that. He stopped being a S.H.I.E.L.D. person because he just did not feel like it was for him until Captain Marvel came, and he wants to help her undo whatever she's doing and protect Earth as much as possible. Now, as for the plot, I'm not really sure. I think I know who the villain is. I think it's that guy who trained her. In one of the extra scenes for Captain Marvel, there's this guy that was training her and stuff. I think he might actually be the villain, because a lot of times they do like the switcheroo, where you think it's that Skrull guy who's like, do you want to know who you are, or something like that. But it's actually that other guy, and I think he's going to be very, very important to the movie. And she's going to be like, oh, no, you can trust him, and then you can't trust him because he's evil. And I'm pretty sure that will be just the only villain, besides all the Skrulls, obviously, and maybe the cat. I don't know. And I think the cat, well, go check out the Super Carolyn Brother video. It will explain a lot of things about the cat. The cat is going to be important. It has its own poster. I mean, no character has its own poster unless it's important. I think the cat's going to take out Nick Fury's eye. Last time I trusted someone, I lost an eye. Yeah, you trusted the cat, and then the cat was like... Because that's what cats do. That's exactly what they do. So, I think that's all I have for Captain Marvel. I might pop in and be like, hey, that's not all I have for Captain Marvel. Hey, that's not all I have for Captain Marvel. Really? What else do I have? The ending. Stupid. Right, so the ending. So what I think will happen at the end is... So what I think will happen at the end is Captain Marvel will go off into space. Just pew, and she's gone. And I think that she's going to be like, hey, Nick Fury, listen, I do not care about your planet too much. I mean, I do care about it more than other planets, but there's infinite galaxies. So I'm going to give you this pager. Call me if absolutely necessary. So if reality was crumbling in front of his eyes, that would be absolutely necessary. And she's going to be like, well, goodbye. And then, because there's an entire war going on in space somewhere. There's the Kree-Skrull War. There's other wars from the comics. There's a lot of civilizations. So I think that she will not need to bother about Earth very much. That's why there's going to be she's not going to be in Avengers 1, Avengers 2, Captain America 2, all of the important stuff that happened, Civil War, none of that stuff is going to need her. And then when Nick Fury wasn't involved with Avengers Infinity War because if he would have been, this is for plot convenience, if he would have been, then he would have called Captain Marvel because that's influencing the entire galaxy. I think that might have been the direction they were leaning towards. That's why they thought she would be in the movie. But then they decided against it because, well, then she'd be coming in too early before her own movie. So it might be kind of like, oh, what happened to you? And she's going to be like, many things. And then not tell anything. So that's why he only comes in at the end to call Captain Marvel with the pager. So, yeah, that's all I have for Captain Marvel. Now, on to Avengers Endgame. Bum, bum, bum. Avengers Endgame, let's go. Avengers Endgame, my most anticipated movie for this year, followed closely by Star Wars 9. I'm going to make a video that's showing my most anticipated movies. Let's just jump right into it. Now, I do not think that there's going to be a time jump in this movie, and I don't think very many people do after the trailers because they seem to be happening right after the movie comes out. I mean, right after Infinity War. They just starting right after because he's only been in the ship for 4 days. So, yeah. Anyway, I do not think there will be a time jump unless it happens after all that stuff. But I don't want there to be a time jump because if there's a time jump, then that means Pepper Potts has had a child because they've said she's pregnant. I don't know. Just doesn't feel right for them to be a time jump. And I don't want it to be like a quest to find the Infinity Stones and reverse everything with them and someone snaps again. I don't want that. Here's what I want to happen. I'm going to say that now, and then I'll say what I think will actually happen. So what I want to happen, and I think this is plausible, just unlikely, and I had this thought today. This was like my motivation to make this entire video. This thought. What if the entire movie, there is time travel, but they're trying to figure out a way to travel right back before the snap to where Thor was coming at him with the axe. But they were going to change one thing where he aimed for the head, and that was it. So that's what I think. That's what I want to happen. I think it's plausible because then Loki, Gamora, and Vision all die, but the snap is prevented, so all the characters who have upcoming movies get their upcoming movies. I think it works well, and they could have a couple Avengers die in the process. They could have Thor die right after that somehow. I don't know. So yeah, that's what I want to happen. Here's what I think will happen. I don't have the plot actually churned out, but here's what I think will happen if there is a time jump. So for the first 15 to 20 minutes of the movie, it's the first plan that the Avengers have. So their first plan that they're trying to save the Earth, it fails. I know, that's big. It fails. But, so they're like, oh crap, our plan failed. Because it says they're only showing the first 15 to 20 minutes in the promotional material. So, if that first plan fails, then they're like, oh crap, it fails, just like I said. But then Ant-Man's like, hey guys, 5 years later, and he's like, hey guys, I know how to fix this problem that's happening. And maybe Captain Marvel's with him, because maybe she's in the quantum realm. I don't know what's going to happen in that movie. Somehow Captain Marvel comes in, and that's if I think there will be a time jump, which I don't. I don't really know what will happen if there's not a time jump. I don't really have that planned out, but I do not think there will be a parallel dimension. I don't think they'll hop from the dimension with everyone dead to another dimension, because then they're just leaving the previous dimension to die, and I don't think anyone would be good with that. Not Tony Stark, not Captain America, maybe a few of the Guardians, but I don't think anyone would want to just leave the dimension to die. I've heard people saying that, but no one really talks about the morals of that choice. So I do not think that will happen. But here's who I think will die. I think Captain America is just dead. And here's something that many people do not think. I think that Iron Man will survive. Totally fine. He'll just finally put up the suit forever. He's done with the suit. Maybe he'll give it to Rhodey. Maybe Rhodey will be a big character. Maybe Rhodey's a Skrull. No one knows these things, and that's the great thing about Marvel. No one knows. We just have to watch. But anyway, I think he's not dead. Because Pepper Potts has a child, and I don't think they would leave her to raise the child alone. This is not going Hunger Games style, where What's-Her-Face is left alone without Finnick. I do not think that will happen. If you haven't seen the Hunger Games, you have no idea what I'm talking about. But anyway, so I don't think that Tony will die. I think another OG Avenger might die. I think Hawkeye's dead. I don't know, because he has a family again. I don't think they'll kill off people with families. Maybe Black Widow will die, because she has an upcoming solo movie, probably. And that would be cool to see her in that after she's dead. So it's like, oh, this is why she's done blah, 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 blah. But I'm still not sure if she's actually going to die. And I think Hulk might die. I think Thor and Iron Man are totally safe, though. That's a prediction by me. If I'm right, that was me. You heard this from here. From my heart. My beating heart. But yeah, that's who I think will and will not die. Now I know I'm probably wrong about both of these predictions. If you watched my Avengers Infinity War prediction video, that aged terribly. That video did. I said that in Infinity War that Captain America or Tony Stark would die, and then in Endgame the other one would die. But now I'm not thinking that at all, and neither of them died in the first movie. I didn't even think Thanos. I thought Thanos would collect 2, maybe 3 stones, but he collected all of them. I was like, holy crap! So, yeah, so don't take this with a grain of salt, like a jar of salt. Just take it with that. Like, here's my video. Here's the salt you're taking it with. Do not trust me. I am stupid. It's funny. This video took barely any work. It's unscripted. And the video that I posted right before this, my movie video, took me a month of work. And this video is like 15 minutes long. I might have to edit it down a lot to cut it down. I might even cut this part out. But I just find it funny that my short film that took me a really long time to make is way shorter than this movie. Speaking of my short film, go check that out. I worked really hard on it. It's called The Closet. It's a time travel film. My acting is not great. I think I did a good job on the plot, though. And go check out my other Infinity War video, because I want views. I'm not even going to lie about it at this point. I'm not going to say because it has good stuff. No, because I want views. So yeah, I'll make sure to link that Super Carlin Brothers video in the description. Thank you for watching. Peace out.